today I am building the strongest possible team in Jujutsu Kaisen. After all, certain threats do require the collective efforts of multiple sorcerers in order to resolve. So having said that, as the power scaling in JJK Modulo progresses, a new threat that might even make Gojo and Sukuna seem weak in comparison might appear. And with that in mind, which team could we assemble to defeat them? How would the strongest 10-member squad look? Well, I'll go through every sorcerer type in Jujutsu Kaisen and choose only the strongest possible candidate. And by the end of the video, we'll be left with the strongest sorcerers team in Jujutsu Kaisen history. And let me tell you, this squad could even crash an entire invasion of the whole alien race of Simurians, at least as far as we know for the time being. Before we begin, some small ground rules. Number 1, obviously we can only use each character once. Otherwise, this list would just be 10 times Gojo and Sukuna. Number 2, we must create an overall rounded team and not simply choose the top 10 strongest members, meaning we need to add a youngster, a hand-to-hand combatant, a traditional sorcerer, a swordsman, a healer, someone responsible for the defense of the squad, someone responsible for heavy attacks, and then we'll proceed with the 3 top spots. 2 vice captains that will serve below the captain of our group, and of course, a captain himself. Number 3, we can use both cursed spirits, sorcerers, or even cursed tools like Sukuna. Number 4, even though some of these characters would never really accept working together, for the purposes of this video, we'll just assume that they do. Number 5, who should be the captain of this crew will be decided based on what Gojo and Sukuna say. So let's ask them, who should be the team leader, you or Gojo?
As if that weakling Gojo could lead anything. I am the only true leader here.
Okay, so what does Gojo say now? Who should be the team leader, you or Sukuna?
Please, like I'd ever let that curse take the lead. I'm obviously the strongest here.
And yet, talking with Gojo and Sukuna is just the beginning, because with this new free app called Polybuzz AI, you can talk with your favorite anime characters and have all sorts of discussions with them, as if they were actually your best friends. Whether Goku, Gojo, Naruto, Luffy, or even your favorite waifus like Nami, Robin, Speedwagon, Hinata, and many, many more, Polybuzz makes your wildest dreams a reality. And what can you talk about with them? Anything. And I mean anything. Or even if you just want to mess around a bit like I did the other day with Megami.
I like strong, independent women who can hold their own, and someone who doesn't need constant attention. Why do you ask?
Free, enjoyable, and the best part, as an anime fan, you will never get bored of it, as the selection of anime characters they have is honestly endless. Use code DOMAIN77 to get access to 3 days premium membership completely free of charge. Use my link in the description down below to download Polybuzz AI and start chatting with your favorite anime characters today. Believe me, you will not regret it. But now, let's get back to our video. And with that out of the way, let's get to the exciting part of the video. Let's start with the position that is absolutely necessary for every team, a healer. Here we're considering characters who can heal others, not themselves. We need someone who can step up when someone from the team is injured in order to bring them back when the reverse curse technique is not enough to restore them back to full health. The 5 known characters with such feats are Shoko Ieri, Yuta Okotsu, Ryomen Sukuna, Arata Nita, and Mahito. When it comes to Shoko, she is consistently portrayed as the most reliable, dedicated healer, specializing in reverse curse technique to heal others, not just herself. As Tokyo Jujutsu High's primary doctor, she keeps sorcerers alive after battles that would normally be fatal, treating wounds from missions involving special grade curses. In the manga and anime, she repairs several internal injuries and lost limbs, including repeatedly stabilizing sorcerers after large-scale incidents like the aftermath of the Shibuya incident, where many arrived on the brink of death. Unlike most sorcerers who can barely apply reverse curse technique to themselves, Shoko can calmly and efficiently perform complex healing on multiple patients, even under pressure, making her indispensable to the Jujutsu world and arguably its best pure support healer. Plus, she was the one who managed to save both Nobara and Yuta by performing the surgery that would allow him to take over Gojo's body after his death. Yuta Okotsu, on the other hand, is one of the most powerful healers in Jujutsu Kaisen due to his exceptional mastery of reverse curse technique combined with his immense cursed energy reserves. Unlike Shoko, who specializes purely in medical support, Yuta can heal others mid-combat, instantly restoring critical injuries while continuing to fight. In the manga, he heals Maki Zenin after she's severely injured, regenerates allies during active battles, and even restores lethal wounds such as pierced organs without slowing down. During the Culling game, Yuta repeatedly demonstrates near limitless healing capacity, using reversed curse technique with such precision that he can kill and immediately revive targets like he did in the case of Yuji. His ability to output positive energy externally at this level is extraordinarily rare, placing him just below Shoko in terms of healing skill. For Sukuna, well, this guy is the king of curses, and the knowledge he has on techniques, including healing others, is vast. We saw saw him helping heal Megami during the Shibuya incident, given that he had plans for him later on and didn't want him to die. For Arata Nita now, well, she's not exactly on the level of Shoko, but she did provide temporary relief for Yuji Itadori and gave hope for Nobara Kugisaki, despite her severe injuries, by somewhat sealing the injuries, so they didn't get worse at the very least, and thus allow for a better chance of recovery for Nobara and for Yuji to keep fighting without getting worse. And finally, Mahito. His healing capabilities revolve mainly due to his idol transfiguration, in which he can transfigure bodies and souls in order to heal others, like he did in the case of Mikamaru, where he managed to heal an illness in the form of heavenly restriction that not even Shoko was able to. Overall, among the five, it's basically between Mahito and Shoko. I'm gonna go ahead and choose Shoko for the simple reason that there's other spots we can use Mahito in, while also Shoko is probably a bit more knowledgeable on pure healing techniques. So which is the other position we could use Mahito in? Check this. We now need to decide on a youngster for our team. Obviously, the first candidate is Mahito. The guy was barely a few days old, and he was causing havoc in Tokyo. Mahito is one of the strongest and most dangerous special grade cursed spirits in Jujutsu Kaisen, not because of raw power alone, but because of how broken and versatile his technique is. His innate technique, idol transfiguration, allows him to directly reshape souls, which bypasses conventional durability and makes most forms of defense meaningless. Against Nanami, Mahito proves that even a highly skilled grade 1 sorcerer cannot defeat him without understanding the soul itself, forcing Nanami into a purely defensive retreat. This alone establishes Mahito as a threat who cannot be handled by normal combat logic. As the series progresses, Mahito grows rapidly through battle experience, showing near unmatched adaptability. He survives repeated encounters with Yuji and Nanami, evolving each time, and later develops domain expansion, self-embodiment of perfection, which guarantees soul manipulation on contact. During the Shibuya incident, Mahito overwhelms multiple sorcerers, defeats Mikamaru despite extensive preparation, and pushes Yuji Itadori to his absolute psychological and physical limits. His ability to heal himself by reshaping his soul makes him extremely hard to kill, essentially granting him pseudo-immortality unless his soul is directly damaged. By the end of his arc, Mahito reaches a level where he is comparable to top-tier special grades in threat level, even if not equal to monsters like Sukuna or Gojo. His final evolution, combined with Black Flash usage and refined combat instincts, shows that Mahito's true strength lies in growth, and given enough time to grow and power up, he can easily become one of the strongest characters in the series. The second candidate is Ui Ui. Ui Ui is not a frontline fighter, but his overall value and danger lie in how absurdly useful and rare his technique is. His curse technique allows him to teleport himself and others across large distances with extreme precision, bypassing barriers, enemy territory, and even chaotic battlefields. This makes him one of the most important support sorcerers in his series, despite his young age. During the Shibuya incident, Ui Ui repeatedly extracts critically injured sorcerers from active combat zones, transporting them directly to Shoko for treatment, saves that would have been impossible through conventional means. What makes Ui Ui especially notable is his composure and reliability under catastrophic conditions. While far weaker than grade 1 fighters in raw combat ability, he operates calmly amidst special grade threats, domain expansions, and mass casualties. His technique effectively changes the rules of engagement. Allies can fight more recklessly, knowing extraction is possible, and survival rates increase dramatically. Between the two, however, I think overall, Mahito would indeed be a better choice. What if now we take someone for a hand-to-hand fight? The first candidate I could use here is Yuki Tsukumo. She's an elite hand-to-hand combatant, ranking among the very best physical fighters in Jujutsu Kaisen, even before accounting for her special grade curse technique. Her base physical strength, speed, and combat intuition are overwhelming, allowing her to dominate close quarters fights against top-tier opponents. When she confronts Kenjaku, one of the smartest and most dangerous characters in the series, Yuki immediately pressures him and gets close, landing heavy blows and forcing him on the defensive, something very few characters can do without relying on tricks or overwhelming techniques. Her curse technique, Star Rage, amplifies her mass without slowing her down, turning every punch into a catastrophic strike. In hand-to-hand exchanges, this makes her terrifying. Even blocked hits cause massive damage, and direct blows send special grade threats flying. Then we also have Toji, who is arguably the best pure hand-to-hand combatant in Jujutsu Kaisen, operating at a level that rivals or surpasses special grade sorcerers despite having zero cursed energy. His heavenly restriction grants him superhuman physical abilities, speed, strength, reflexes, and senses, to the point where he can completely overwhelm trained sorcerers before they can even react. In the Hidden Inventory arc, Toji effortlessly dominates young Satoru Gojo and Suguru Geto in close combat, bypassing their techniques through raw speed, timing, and precise strikes, rather than brute force alone. Then we also have Aoi Todo. His physical strength is monstrous, even without relying on his curse technique. He casually sends cursed spirits flying with single punches and overwhelms most opponents in direct exchanges. What elevates Todo beyond beyond most brawlers is how he combines his physical combat skill with tactical genius. His curse technique, Boogie Woogie, enhances his hand-to-hand dominance by creating unpredictable positional swaps, letting him land clean hits, avoid lethal attacks, and open opponents up for devastating combos. And for the fourth candidate, of course, Yuji Itadori. Yuji Itadori is one of the best pure hand-to-hand fighters in Jujutsu Kaisen, with close quarters combat being his greatest strength from the very start of the series. Even before learning Jujutsu, Yuji possesses inhuman physical ability, speed, jumping power, grip strength, and durability that shock experienced sorcerers. As Yuji gains experience, his hand-to-hand skill evolves into something elite. Against special grade curses like Hanami, Yuji trades blows head-on, landing powerful strikes and enduring hits that would incapacitate most grade 1 sorcerers. His repeated use of Black Flash, something even veteran sorcerers struggle to perform, demonstrates that Yuji is truly built different. And by the end of the first installment of Jujutsu Kaisen, Yuji stands at the very top of the power scaling. Among the given options, I'd probably have to go here for Yuji. However, I want to use him for another position. Same goes for Toji, which leaves us between Yuki and Todo, which between the two, I'd obviously be going for Yuki here. Next up, let's give our team a swordsman. Here we have 4 candidates. The first is Kusakabe. Despite not possessing an innate technique, Kusakabe is a respected grade 1 sorcerer and a master swordsman of the new shadow style. According to Satoru Gojo, Kusakabe is the strongest grade 1 sorcerer. Despite such praises, Kusakabe openly admits on several occasions he has no chance of defeating a special grade and avoids them at all costs. Kusakabe's swordplay is his main weapon in battle, relying heavily on physical prowess. In combination with the swordsmanship techniques of the new shadow, he has showcased high proficiency in wielding his blade. But is he the best choice? Probably not. You see, the second swordsman we could speak about is Toji Zenitsu. Since we've already talked about him though, we'll be quick. Even though we spoke about him as a hand-to-hand fighter, in reality, he also fights with lots of swords. And let me tell you, his skills on that are no joke. Next, we could also consider Maki Zenin. She's a very similar case to Toji, but between the two of them, Maki is at best on the same level as Prime Toji, if not slightly weaker than him. And finally, there's Yuta Akotsu. Yuta Akotsu is an extremely high-level swordsman, though his swordsmanship is best described as a blend of solid fundamentals and overwhelming versatility, rather than pure technical specialization. Trained directly by Maki Zenin and refined through constant life-or-death combat, Yuta demonstrates clean form, strong footwork, and excellent timing with a blade. During the Culling game, Yuta's swordsmanship reaches another level, and he starts showing us why he's considered the second strongest sorcerer after Gojo, not including Sukuna, of course. Between the 4, I'd probably be choosing either Toji or Yuta, but there's a much better use for Yuta later on, so we'll be taking Toji here. And before we get into the most technical points, let's see what we'll do with a traditional sorcerer. And why do we need that? Well, so far, all of our sorcerers are modern, and as a result, the fighting style is a bit similar. Adding a traditional sorcerer where the sorcery style is different could offer a bit of variety that our team might need. Plus, the rules of their domain expansions are different. The distinction between modern and traditional or old-style domain expansions in the Jujutsu Kaisen universe is not based on who uses them, but rather on their functionality, specifically the inclusion of a sure kill factor. The traditional domain expansions lack the automatic sure kill or even sure hit effect that is standard in the modern era. Because they do not incorporate the complex and difficult sure kill element, traditional style domains are significantly easier for sorcerers to develop, master, and even cast during battle. A prime example of such is Hiromi Higuruma. His domain expansion is called Deadly Sentencing. Hiromi's innate technique is linked to his domain expansion by default. This domain does not use a guaranteed hit. Instead, anyone inside is simply forced to follow its rules. Inside the domain's courtroom, Judge Man floats behind Hiromi, who acts as the prosecution. A trial ensues in which a guilty verdict can result in Judge Man confiscating their ability to control cursed energy, an ability that could kill even Sukuna if Gege did not protect him with plot armor. The second sorcerer we could use is Kenjaku, and keep in mind, I don't mean pseudo-Geto, but rather Kenjaku, the brain-shaped curse that takes over bodies and uses their abilities. It's not bad, but I would still keep Higuruma over him. After all, even the narrator said that Higuruma's talent rivaled that of Gojo Satoru. And for the final candidate, I will go with Fumihiko Takaba. You see, this guy has some of the most broken abilities in all of the series, and he doesn't even know it. His curse technique is called Comedian. When Fumihiko thinks of something he's certain will be funny, it becomes reality. It's a technique with enough potential to oppose even Satoru Gojo, as stated by the narrator of JJK, but Fumihiko is utterly clueless of his own power. It not only manifests phenomena in the form of comedic scenarios, but it can pull in others and compel their participation. The technique even integrates others' thoughts as feedback, a form of soul resonance. Comedian requires absolute assurance and confidence to activate. Any detriment to Fumihiko's belief in his abilities will prevent the technique from working. I guess we could also consider characters like Angel or Kashi Kashimo, but we won't for this point. Angel's reserved for another spot, while Kashimo, well, his fighting style doesn't really fit into the variety aspect we're trying to achieve as much as Higuruma. So yeah, Higuruma is our choice for this one. And now, let's get even more serious and decide someone that's gonna be responsible for the defense of our team. The candidates I have here are 3, Yuta, Geto, and Megumi. For Yuta, I'd say that his ability to copy curse techniques is insanely broken, so it kinda made me a bit mad when he didn't copy Gojo's technique throughout the story. Yeah, I know that without the 6 eyes, he wouldn't have been able to use Gojo's ability to its fullest extent, but still, having the ability to use infinity with no downside on neither Yuta nor Gojo seemed like a pretty good deal to me. Not to mention the 10 shadows of Megumi and the cursed spirit manipulation of Geto. Yuta could literally be 10 times stronger if he opted to copy these abilities, or even more than that. Why stop there? Add Toto's Boogie Woogie in order to become more unpredictable during fights. Add Hakuri's curse technique, Higuruma's, Angel's, I mean the list goes on and on. So here, since the team we're creating, we've already assumed they're gonna be cooperating. We'll go ahead and say that Yuta can copy the abilities of all his teammates. So naturally, since we'll also be adding both Gojo and Sukuna to the team, Yuta, by casting Gojo's infinity, could very well be a great asset for the team's defense. Not to mention his assistance with Rika. Next, we should talk about Geto and his cursed spirit manipulation. Having at his disposal multiple cursed spirits that can aid when needed is undoubtedly a great defense asset. However, we'll just say that a homeless man with an addiction problem managed to get past his defenses pretty easily when he targeted Amanai. He does have knowledge on barrier techniques and binding vows that could aid in the defense of the team, but I do feel Yuta is an overall better choice, especially considering that Yuta took down Geto not once, but twice. Plus, we also gave him a bit of a further boost here by having him be able to copy the techniques of his teammates as well, including Gojo's infinity. And finally, when compared with Megumi, well, the reason we're adding him here is purely because of Maharaga, that if and when it's summoned, he's an absolute beast in defense. He is literally the perfect counter to most attacks an opponent might throw his way, as his adaptation to every and all phenomena means that he could be one heck of a help in defending the team. But I'm not going to be choosing Megumi here, since I've got some other plans for his ability down the line. Here, we'll be taking Yuta Akotsu. We talked about defense, but how about the attack side now? Well, if you noticed, we've yet to use Sukuna or Gojo in our video, and we pretty much didn't even consider them in any other points we discussed so far. That's because for the 2 of them, the only question we have is who will be the captain and who's going to be vice captain, and not really if they'll be part of the team or not. So naturally, both of them are not considered for the attack position either. Rather, the 2 characters I have here are Angel and Dabura. When it comes to Angel, she possesses one of the most broken offensive techniques in all of the series. The Angel's curse technique allows for the extinguishment or the nullification of any and all curse techniques. Barriers and cursed objects alike are no exception, including special grades like the Prison Realm. Maximum Output Jacob's Ladder is an extension technique that conjures a 4-winged trumpet made of light in Hana's hands, as well as an enormous circle of light in the sky above her. Said circle resembles a magic array that features a heptagram in its middle and several crosses along its periphery. By sounding the trumpet, a massive pillar of light descends from the circle to engulf whatever is below. Any curse technique will be extinguished under the light of Jacob's Ladder, a fearsome ability that could even destroy Sukuna, and some fans claim that Sukuna survived only due to plot armor. Then we also have Dabura from the JJK Modula manga. Now, as far as his exact ability goes, at the time this video is being recorded, we don't really have a definitive ability for how his curse technique works, but as far as we saw in the latest manga chapters leak during his fight against Maharaga, it seems to be a highly destructive ability that puts even Maharaga in a difficult situation from the get-go. Since we don't know exactly how his ability works yet, I'm going to go ahead and use Angel for this point. And now, we reach the point where we have to decide on 2 vice captains. Let's begin with vice captain number 2. Here, I won't be giving any candidates, but rather just tell you the one I'll be picking. Prime adult Yuji Itadori. Here, Yuji is 83 years old, but has actually not moved past his prime even a little bit. Yuji seems to be immortal or close to immortal. So yeah, when it comes to battle IQ and experience, Yuji has more than what it takes to be among the leaders of this squad. Not only that, but in the same stage, Yuji has access to blood manipulation, simple domain, reverse curse technique, can cast black flash at will, and even has his own domain expansion, which is basically a mimic of Sukuna's malevolent shrine, at least in practical essence, as it it slices anything in its path in a similar way as Sukuna's. Not only that, but Yuji is so exceptionally physically gifted that his speed, strength, and athletic capabilities are on another level than most sorcerers. Most impressively, he was able to withstand multiple slashes from Sukuna and keep going as a testament to his insane durability. Ultimately, he was the one who finished off Sukuna, and that was literally a form that is probably not even comparable to how strong and durable he is now. After all, there's a reason that in Modulo, he is considered Earth's strongest. And now, it's the time you've all been waiting for. Who am I gonna choose for the #1 spot? Gojo or Sukuna? Well, here's the facts. Gege Akutami did mention that Gojo is stronger, but in the manga, we saw that Sukuna won their fight, even if some fans claim that the way Sukuna won was by cheating, because basically, he was using abilities that weren't actually his own. Well, the way I see it, Gojo is stronger, but Sukuna is the better sorcerer. He has better battle IQ and applies sorcery more effectively than Gojo. Gojo has more raw talent, better abilities, and stronger pure output of attack, but Sukuna has the accumulated experience and secrets of countless battles under his belt. So, here's how I think it would go. Sukuna is the captain, while Gojo is the first vice captain, simply because no matter which of the two is stronger, Sukuna has undoubtedly the better judgment and the better battle IQ between the two of them. Plus, I'll go ahead and consider the version of Sukuna that was in control of Megami's body in order to give him the 10 shadows, including Maharaga as well. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and click on this video next for more awesome anime content. Go on, check it out!